welcome to Juice and Java, Syracuse University's only morning talk show. I'm Marisa Palmer.
And I'm Jamie Weiss, and it's October. October is officially Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so all throughout the month of October, your Juice and Java hosts, your Citrus TV anchors, anyone affiliated with Citrus will be wearing these pretty cool pink ribbons in support of breast cancer awareness.
Which is a great cause. We're really excited to be a part of it for this month.
Yeah, it's incredible. I know all throughout the city of Syracuse, there's runs, there's walks, just anything to raise money for research and for the cure.
And also, last week, there was a new house dedication ceremony, and Oprah came. So it was really the Oprah event, but we did open the new house studios, which is really exciting.
Yes, I remember I toured Dick Clark Studios. It looks phenomenal. I can't wait to take classes there. And I even got a chance to meet Oprah. Well, not really meet her, but take a selfie with her.
You took a selfie? That's awesome.
Yeah. So I think it's better than meeting her, to be honest.
Oh yeah, definitely. Got to take a selfie with Oprah.
And also, this coming week is homecoming week at Syracuse.
Hey, very exciting. There's a lot going on, a lot of different events throughout the week. From Syracuse, so that's going to be fun.
It'll be interesting to see which alumni come back. I know I'm excited because my mom is a Syracuse alum, and she's actually coming back for her 25-year anniversary.
Wait, when did you graduate?
89.
Nice. It's going to be great coming back and seeing all the new changes at Syracuse, especially the new studio
I can't wait to give her a tour.
She's going to be very excited, definitely.
Yeah, we're going to try to check out the game, but you know, there's also, this coming month, there's that brand new 76ers versus the Knicks game.
Yeah, Carmelo Anthony versus Michael Carter-Williams. It's going to be very intense.
Don't forget Jeremy Grant.
Oh yeah, Jeremy Grant, can't forget him. And some of our Juice and Java reporters went out to ask some of the students on campus if they're excited for the game. Stay tuned.
It's possible. If I can get tickets, yes.
Honestly, I didn't even know it was happening.
I'm looking forward to it. There's going to be a lot of big names. There's going to be Carmelo. There's going to be Michael Carter-Williams. Jeremy Grant should be playing. And I don't know, I think it's going to be a great matchup. It's cool to see Syracuse alum come back and kind of give back to the community. So, you know, I'm going to be really excited for it.
You know, I don't know. I'm a busy guy, and I didn't think I'd have the time. You know, it sounded like a fun thing, but I kind of forgot about getting tickets. So.
Definitely the Knicks because I'm a New Yorker.
I'm a Celtics fan, so don't really have much interest in those teams.
I like Carter Williams, but you know, I like Phil Jackson and the Knicks, so I think the Knicks will win.
I don't really care about the NBA. I just want to see good basketball.
I'm definitely excited, but it's all about the Knicks when I go over there. Syracuse doesn't have to be in the back of my mind, but it's all going to be Knicks.
Carmelo Anthony. Yep, I think.
My boy Melo.
Welcome back to Juice and Java. I'm here with Chancellor Syverud. Thank you so much for coming in with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. All right, so you're the new chancellor this year. There's been a lot going on here at Syracuse. How have you felt that you've adjusted to being at Syracuse University?
Very well. It's been a good year, and I've been away from upstate for more than 3 decades, so it feels like coming home, and it's been a lot of fun. I think I have the best job.
It is. We have a lot of good orange spirit here at Syracuse.
Yes.
What's your favorite part about being a part of the Syracuse University campus?
I think it's the people. It's a very student-powered campus and university, and I've met probably 5,000 people in a year. The hardest part is remembering names, but I've met so many students and faculty and staff and alums who care about the place, and when everybody cares about the place, it's so much easier to do things.
Mm. Now, coming into your new leadership, did you come in with any plans or goals that you wanted to set forth here?
I tend to be a steward more than someone who tries to tell people what to do. So that requires you to learn the place. I mean, so my main goal was to help the place have an even better future than an amazing past and a very sprawling, wonderful present. And that pretty much required me at the beginning to really deeply understand the history of the place and what it is today. So I kind of came in mostly with that in mind.
And what was that process? How did you go through planning out your time here?
Well, I've been trying to go to, attend, and talk to as many different people and organizations and places that are Syracuse as possible. The first major thing was living in BBB for 2 weeks, which taught me a lot.
How was that, being a student?
It was great. It was great. It taught me that the students are incredibly energetic and directed here. It also taught me that students are, by and large, positive and very diverse. And it taught me that we have some work to do in the residence halls.
That is true. I lived in Sadler my sophomore year, and that was when they were reconstructing the dining hall. So I didn't get a chance to experience the new dining hall bit, but I had the old dining hall, and I was always very envious of the classes afterward who got to experience the new dining hall.
Yeah, I think that's a uniform phenomenon of Syracuse alumni. They all think the current students have it good relative to themselves, but the Sadler Dining Hall is a lot better than it was.
It is. I do tend to go back sometime. Yeah. So this year there's been a lot going on with different groups on campus, different issues on campus. I just want to talk to you a bit about how you see yourself moving forward given recent student input at recent forums. How do you plan to tie in the students' voice with your plans?
Of course. The university currently does not have a strategic plan, and that's really important for the academic vision of the place, and so that all the faculty and staff have a sense of priorities. And so we have an effort going forward to have a strategic academic plan for the university and a campus master plan for buildings and infrastructure that support it. I've heard a lot from students in various contexts that it made me pretty determined to have student effort integral to those planning efforts, and they are. We were kind of in a hurry to get that done this year because there's a lot of decisions somewhat on hold until we have a vision for the whole university. But I'm determined that the vision kind of emerge organically from the students, faculty, and community rather than be imposed by me. So right now we've been working on getting hundreds of students, faculty, and staff involved in the planning groups in every area of campus life and academic planning. And that's going forward very quickly and with a lot of help from the Student Association and various student representatives, including from graduate students.
Mm-hmm. Could you give me more of a breakdown of some of the academic plans you see yourself going forward with?
Sure. So there's a strategic planning effort for the university which is focused on where we're trying to get to academically and all the various units in research and education that support it. The provost, Eric Spina, is overseeing that effort and has broken that into a series of work groups in 7 areas that cover, for example, globalization, research, undergraduate education, professional education, and so on. That will produce a tentative draft in many of these areas for all sorts of stakeholders in the community to look at, presumably for some discussion by the Board of Trustees early in the coming year in 2015, and a final draft for people to review and approve by the end of the academic year.
And so what about the student voices, the student leadership that's to get involved?
There's students on many of the committees and involved in many of the efforts. We've been working largely with student organizations and the student selected government, Student Association, and the graduate student organizations, but there are very few aspects of it that don't involve students, and even beyond the committees, there'll be fairly extensive surveying and town halls and inputs on straw man drafts as we go along. That's true of the campus master plan effort as well, which is to try and figure out what our vision is for the campus and the neighborhoods around it. And there is student membership on that master planning group. They've just selected a lead firm to help with the master planning, the architecture, the urban planning that go into it. And that firm, I assume, will be back on campus very soon this month and conducting surveys, town halls, tours to get a sense of all the spaces and all the ways people interact on the campus.
So your plans moving forward really hope to incorporate as many voices, as many student voices as possible?
Yes, I think people will be more positive about the results and more engaged in making them come to fruition if they're involved in the planning. So that's why it's been designed. It is a fast process. It's all happening this year, and sometimes these processes take years. But I think I have a sense of urgency for things to get even better fairly soon.
Do you have kind of a timeline as to when a lot of these plans will be able to see them on campus?
Well, I know that a formal draft needs to be before the Board of Trustees in May. Working back from that, earlier drafts for review and discussion will have to come quite a bit earlier. I think you could see pieces of it discussed and reviewed with people starting this semester, later this semester, with much of the hard work occurring over the course of the spring semester.
And is there any new plan you're particularly looking forward to? Anything you're very excited about?
Oh, there's many things I'm hoping for out of it, but it can't be something I impose. I think that we can do a lot to make undergraduate education even better here as part of the planning. I've talked to so many undergraduates who have excellent experiences here, particularly as they find their niche. But I've also talked to undergraduates who fall between the cracks. And sometimes that falling between the cracks is as they switch majors or schools. So at the moment I'm very focused on making sure that all students have a good experience from recruitment through retention, through graduation, and a good outcome. And that includes students like me who came into university not knowing for sure where I was going to end up and changing my mind several times along the way.
And look at where you are today. Obviously something worked out.
This wasn't the plan though. So, and that's the point, is that I didn't know as a freshman or even as a junior exactly what my path would be, but I needed a great education for it. And I needed people to regard me as normal, even though I started school expecting to be an ambassador or in foreign relations, and gradually migrated to economics and ended up in law, and then in education. So I think for current undergraduates, it's even more true that they'll evolve through multiple careers. And so I'm eager for the experience at Syracuse to facilitate genuinely people being able to take advantage of all parts of it over their 4 years.
Now, you also opened the semester up with a bit of an inquiry that left a lot of the students puzzled. It regarded two animals, and I just wanted to know if you came to a verdict on whether you are a deer or a bear.
Well, so I was raised west of here, where, and my family said Syracuse, which would make me a deer, Syracuse. It wasn't until I came back that I realized half the people here say Syracuse, which is bear. So I am still waiting for the competition that will determine whoever wins. I'm going to say it their way. I'm going to discipline. I've had lots of volunteers, including from faculty, coaches, alumni donors, politicians, students, including in sororities, fraternities, teams, clubs, and they're all over the map. So I'm hoping that Rec Services will put together kind of a two-part event between different people who advocate for Bear and Syracuse, and different people who advocate for Syracuse.
And battle it out.
You know, kind of some trivia contest, an athletic contest, and that whoever wins, I'll say it their way from now on. I don't think I should be anchored in my past.
Oh, right.
But my past is definitely Syracuse.
Me too. I'm the same. Syracuse.
Well, I am told that in the Newhouse School they beat Syracuse into you rather than Syracuse. But I am told in some other schools that's a source of a resentment towards the Newhouse School. So we wouldn't want to have that.
Can't be biased that way, no.
But I want to be clear. I'm just trying to decide how I say it. I would not impose that pronunciation on Newhouse or anyone else. So.
Well, thank you so much for coming in, Chancellor. We were very excited to have you here today.
Thanks, and best wishes to Juice and Java.
Thank you. Coming up next, some of our Juice and Java reporters went out to cover the Oprah event that happened at the new house school. Stay tuned.
Oprah Winfrey stopped by Syracuse University to take part in the dedication of their new studios, but she had been worried that she wouldn't be accepted.
So I had not one, I had not two, I had 3 orange dresses. And I left them in the hotel room in New York.
But students didn't seem to mind.
I believe that what you all have done, what the Newhouse family has done, what the Gary family has done, what the Clark family has done, is what we're meant to do as human beings. We're meant to take our lives, do the best we can, be excellent in our lives, and then use what we have been given to impact others.
Well, many students were here to see Oprah Winfrey. The name behind the dedication of the studio is for Dick Clark and the legend and contributions he has made to the media world.
Dick Clark is a name that will never be forgotten and is now immortalized at Syracuse.
You hear the word legend used everywhere, but in reality, they're pretty hard to find. Yet whenever I hear Dick's name, legend will always be the first word that comes to mind for me.
The festivities were taken outside for a few more speakers and the ribbon cutting.
I think a lot of you, you're here because you're dreamers. You dreamt of doing something special. And here it is. This is your time. This is your place.
1, 2, 3, cut.
The Dick Clark Studios in the Allen Gary Center are now officially open. The Gary Center houses a motion-sensitive wall and virtual reality technology that visitors were able to try out.
You'll hear all us old-timers talking about, like, well, we didn't have this or whatever, but we're excited that you do.
Welcome back to Juice and Java. Tomorrow kicks off Homecoming Week, and I'm joined with the 2012 Homecoming King, Kevin Belbey. Welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you?
Great. So, you were Homecoming King back in 2012.
I was.
So, can you explain the process of applying for Homecoming Court?
Sure, I'm sorry I didn't bring my crown, but it's in a safety deposit vault back at home. Don't want anyone to touch it. But yeah, it's actually a bit of a lengthy process that actually, there's a lot of steps basically. You have to apply, first and foremost. You apply online. And after the application process, I think they cut it down to about 10 to 15 candidates that they choose to both interview, and you have to take a quiz. You have to take a test in all different Syracuse traditions. And between that interview and the test, they come up with a raw score. And the top 5 female and male candidates, they go on to the homecoming court ballot. And then it's up to the students and the faculty of the school. The Syracuse community decides who becomes Syracuse homecoming king and they decide who becomes homecoming queen.
That's awesome.
So
well, congratulations.
Steps. Thank you. I appreciate it.
So you served on Homecoming Court. Can you explain a little bit of what your priorities were and what you had to do?
Once I became on Homecoming Court? Yeah, yes. Well, during Homecoming Week, Orange Central Week, there's a lot of different events that go on. All different types of school spirit events that we go to. I was pretty lucky. I think the coolest thing I saw was we got invited to the Arents Award dinner. Which is the highest honor that Syracuse gives to some of its alumni. And that year, one of the alums was Dennis Crowley, who started Foursquare, was a Newhouse grad. Got to meet him and network with him, and we still keep in touch a little bit. So that was really special for me. But overall, the court goes to a lot of different events during the week to kind of get everybody excited for all the alums that are coming back and for the big football game, obviously, that weekend.
That's incredible. And your senior year, you served as the manager for the Syracuse Orange basketball team.
I did, yes.
And so you had a little bit of a different experience getting crowned for Homecoming King. Can you explain that a little bit?
I did, yeah. So my senior year was in 2012, 2013. And in that fall, we went out to San Diego and we played San Diego State on an aircraft carrier, the USS Midway. And we were supposed to play Friday night. And after every game, we fly back right away. So I would have made it. I wouldn't have had a lot of sleep, but I would have made it for the football game on Saturday. It was supposed to rain on Friday, so they pushed the game from Friday to Sunday. So I wound up not being able to really get crowned or not even go to the homecoming football game, which was a bit of a disappointment. But we won the basketball game, which was pretty cool. We were flying out to San Diego. We're running out of fuel, funny enough, and we had to stop in Denver. And I was texting my friends. I found out via text message that I won, and Todd Blumen, who was the video coordinator, actually took the pilot's microphone and told everyone on the plane. So I had my own little ceremony, I guess. But yeah, it was definitely a little unique. So.
Well, at least you did get your coronation after all.
I did. And last year, I was able to go to the ceremony. Normally the the king and the queen from the year prior hand off their crown to the new king and queen. So I was able to make it to that, which was nice.
So how do you think this year's homecoming will be different?
You know, it's hard to tell. I'm excited to see who goes on the court. It's always a different group of students, but always students who really embody that senior class, and I think that's really exciting. I'm actually part of the homecoming committee this year now that I'm a couple years removed, so I was able to see there's a ton of great candidates. I'm excited to get to see who makes the final ballot. Courtney Jones and the Traditions Committee do a great job setting up different events all week long that the court goes to and that the whole Syracuse community is invited to, and that really get the hype going for the football game on Saturday. So.
Can we have any sneak peeks to who we're going to see on homecoming court this year?
Oh, I can't tell you, but I know it's going to be a great ballot. There are some really great king and queen candidates that have done great things over their 4 years. You know, when I was on the ballot, I kind of looked at it as almost like a lifetime achievement award for those 4 years at Syracuse, and that's what it really is. It's the people who make the ballot are people who have given their time to Syracuse and extracurriculars to the Syracuse community over those 4 years. It's not something that you just sign up for. It's really embodies a 4-year body of work. So.
Great. Well, thank you so much for coming to the show.
Oh, thank you for having me. Go Orange.
Some of our Juice and Java reporters went out to Beacon Skiff Apple Farm. Let's see what they found.
When you think of fall, you think of apple picking, but when it comes to the Beacon Skiff apple orchard, there's more to the apples than meet the eye.
How do you make sure that you continue to reinvent your business? You know, you can't just do the same thing year after year and try to pass that to the next generation.
And they don't. At Beacon Skiff, you can find all your fall favorites, from baked goods like freshly baked cider donuts, assorted pies, and a variety of cookies, to locally made products like honey. And of course, apples.
We make sweet cider, which is a very big business for us. We make hard cider, which is a booming business today across the U.S. And we make a very special product, which is from apples. We make our vodka and our gin.
Beacon Skiff prides itself on being a true family business, and in its 5th generation, Brennan says this gives the orchard a distinct character.
What Beacon Skiff has always been known for is high quality. Everything that we do has quality around it. The way that we grow our apples, we hand thin our trees so that we get a larger apple. You know, many farms just go for the maximum number of bins that they can get per acre. We focus more on the size and the quality of our fruit per acre. So I think if you ask people, you know, what's synonymous with Beacon Skiff, one thing would be quality.
Reporting from Beacon Skiff Apple Orchard in Lafayette, Eliza Lennon and Marisa Palmer for Juice and Java.
Welcome back to Juice and Java. Jamie and I are here with the president and vice president of Otto's Army, Natalie and Sean. Thank you for having me. Thank you for being here today. I'm here. Thank you for being here today.
You're very welcome.
Thank you for having us.
So we were just kind of wondering, what is Otto's Army?
So we're the official student section of Syracuse Athletics. It's kind of our mission to build school spirit as best we can across campus. You know, that involves trying to get people to games, trying to get them to stay all the way through the game to, you know, till the alma mater, and just really promoting that sense of school spirit, whether it's a basketball or football game or soccer, volleyball, any other sport. We really try to, you know, build up the Orange spirit as best we can.
Have you guys always been really active, like right from the get-go as freshmen?
I'm actually a transfer student, so last year was my first year, but I started off very young in Otto's Army. I was watching all the games before I was even at SU, and a few of my friends were in Otto's Army, so the first thing that they told me to do was to officially join. And as you can tell, now I'm the vice president, so my school spirit runs deep.
How would someone join Otto's Army?
So we have meetings, open meetings every other Wednesday night. So a lot of the time that's a good kickoff to, you know, learn more about upcoming events that we have, different ways we're trying to get people to to games. And then we also have different, you know, brainstorming sessions to try to develop new cheers. So a lot of the times it'll start off by going to meetings rather. And then at that point, you know, at the end of the year, there will be positions on the executive board. And, you know, for me, myself, I was public relations officer for 2 years. And then, you know, saw the vacancy at president, so I decided to go for that. So there's a lot of opportunities to get involved and, again, help that promotion for everything we do.
What goes into developing a new cheer? Why do you guys have a meeting to be like, we need a new cheer for this sport?
Well, the same ones over and over again get a little boring. So, for example, last year we thought of a new one for basketball, which is called car alarm. It's basically being really, really annoying when the other team is doing free throws or anything like that. So, do you want to do it?
Sometimes it's kind of
give it a go.
Yeah, sometimes it's kind of spontaneous. Like we had just an e-board meeting at one of the seniors from last year's houses, and there was a literal car alarm going off outside. So then we were like, that would be really annoying if somebody's taking a free throw, and they just hear a car alarm, and you kind of get the hands waving and everything too. So we developed that as well.
And spread it out to the rest of the student body, and it's really easy and it's really annoying and really fun at the same time. So I mean, the freshness with the new cheers really helps out with distracting the other team and then also getting us a little bit more into the game.
That's awesome. Do you think you can show us the car alarm cheer?
All right,
We'll do our best.
Okay, so just like a normal car alarm, it starts off with and then it just repeats, and we do it really loud, and it actually looks really awesome on the screen when people at home are watching it. We've gotten tweets at the Otto's Army account saying like, "Oh my God, you guys are so loud right now! Like, keep it up, it's great." So, I mean, it really works.
So, what type of plans do you guys have this year with Otto's Army?
We're doing a big emphasis on this year with getting kids out to the sports that aren't really, that aren't as popular among, the majority of the student body. So anything other than basketball, lacrosse, and football. So we're trying to get a bunch of kids out to soccer games, especially both men's and women's. Volleyball, we're trying to do a lot with volleyball as well. And then when it gets a little bit later in the season, softball and baseball. So we're doing this thing with soccer, if Sean wants to talk about that.
Yeah, so we recently started it. So behind one of the goals, there's this pretty decently sized hill. So we figured that'd be a good area to have a student section. We kind of worked out the logistics with the athletic department, and now we have a Pack the Hill campaign, which we try to get that hashtag promoted, on game days. And a few weeks ago, they played Notre Dame. We ended up losing the game 1-0, but we had well over 100 students out there, and it was kind of like this is finally here. This is kind of it's getting kicked off. Then a few weeks ago, we played Virginia, and the same thing. The hill was packed, and there's a few more games coming up this week, so we're really trying to, promote that. And our soccer team's number 4 in the country. A lot of people on campus might not know that, but it really is an exciting game. The team is really good, so we're doing everything we can to help support them. So.
That's awesome. And we also have an incredible basketball team. So every fall, you guys put on, in partnership with the athletic department, Midnight Madness. Can you talk a little bit about what's happening this year?
Yep. So it's going to be October 17th. Just like previous years, it's pretty much one big pep rally to kick off the basketball season, to get both the students and the local community introduced to the new players. So it'll be a lot of the same with, they'll have the introductions, they'll do scrimmages, they'll do everything that has kind of been done in the past, and then the athletic department is trying to work out a few more fun things. For the students, we'll have different giveaways, and it'll be again October 17th, and it's always a lot of fun to kick off the basketball season and to start to build the excitement. So.
Yep. Do we have a performer set for this year yet, or are we still waiting?
Not too sure yet, but the athletic department's kind of working through the kinks with that, and we'll kind of figure out that as we go.
Well, before we have to go, can you show us a couple more of your favorite cheers?
Well, of course, there's the classic "Let's Go Orange," so you just go, "Let's go Orange, let's go Orange, let's go Orange," and it just keeps on repeating. Of course.
Do you wanna give that a go?
Oh, all right.
All right, let's do it.
Let's go Orange. Let's go Orange. Let's go Orange.
You guys are naturals. Got it down already.
Thank you.
So any other new cheers for this year? Or any other pretty original cheers that we do?
Yeah, it's kind of been around for a while, but the Whose House, Q's House chant. So you'll have one person, or sometimes it might be a full row just to get it louder. They'll yell out "Whose House," and then the rest of the student section,
"Q's House."
Whose house?
Q's house.
Whose house?
Q's house.
Whose house?
Q's house.
Whose house?
Q's house.
That's another one of our favorites.
Yeah.
I love it.
It gets everybody pumped up.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming onto the show today.
Thank you for having us.
Here we go.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys.
You're very welcome.
So, Review Crew put up a brand new clip for us to watch. Let's check it out.
Hey guys, welcome to OTN's Review Crew, episode 3. We're your hosts. I'm Sarah.
I'm Yara.
And this week we're gonna review some movies, just like every other week.
Yeah, you know.
I'm gonna review This Is Where I Leave You. I'm pretty sure that's the name of it from theaters.
What's the little premise?
Oh yeah, the little premise is there's this family and then the father dies and then they're forced to be together, this family, once more. Yeah,
Sounds
hang
sad,
out.
but funny.
It is sad but funny. Yeah, you'll figure out more when you watch our show.
Wow.
What are you watching?
I'm gonna review Magic in the Moonlight, the new Woody Allen film, you know what I'm talking about? From the summer. And it's about this guy who goes and checks out this American family, and they're like, yeah, it's about that. So we'll see. We'll talk about that later.
Okay, cool. Juice and Java.
Welcome back to Juice and Java. Today's been an incredible show, I must say.
It definitely was. I talked to Kent for a little bit, the Chancellor. I call him Kent. We're on a first-name basis. And he talked about a lot of the future plans that he has for Syracuse. He has a lot of strategic academic plans and also plans that involve the students on campus. So I'm excited to see how those follow through.
And afterwards, I got to talk to Kevin Belbey. He's actually a grad student at the School of Law, but he was actually the 2012 Homecoming King, so we got to talk about his experience and what it's like to run for homecoming court. So that was pretty cool.
And since homecoming is right around the corner, it was necessary for us to learn some of the cheers that we had. We talked to Otto's Army for a bit, and they showed us a few cheers. Do you want to give the Juice and Java audience members a little taste?
I think we should.
We should. Ready?
Okay. Let's go Orange.
Let's go Orange. Let's go Orange.
All right, I think we killed it.
That was good, yeah.
It was definitely an incredible show. Great packages. Very happy with how it all went.
It was really nice. And we have some social media that we want you guys to check out.
Yeah, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram and Twitter. We have a Pinterest account, and all of our videos are available on YouTube.
And for Juice and Java, I'm Marisa Palmer.
And I'm Jamie Weiss.
Thank you for tuning in.